That one batted down, almost intercepted by Tim Johnson.
Boy, and guess one of the things that the Chargers are going to have to guard against, and they haven't been in this situation for probably forever. But they've got a huge lead, and players in a game like this love to play. They don't want to go sit on the bench. They don't want to take time off. Marty Schottenheimer has to get his starters out, and maybe after the next touchdown. But Keenan McCardell, this is only his second game of the season. You don't want to have him do anything to his legs. You know, clearly Eric Parker's been a big part of this offense. I wouldn't have Antonio Gates in there. I wouldn't have LT in there. I wouldn't have Drew Brees in there. After this drive, you got to get those guys out.
Brees looking to the sideline. Oh, beautiful. Parker with the catch at the 5.
Man, and you know what? When you see guys hooking up like that, there's some chemistry between the quarterback and the wide receiver. It's what you call a fly stop. And Eric Parker's going to have tight coverage on him, and Drew Brees just going to throw it right behind on that back shoulder.
So he threw it behind him on purpose?
Yep, certainly did. And when Eric Parker looked back and saw that ball coming behind him, all he has to do is stop. Defensive back doesn't know when you're going to stop, and the ball was right there. It's all about a timing throw. So right when he turned his shoulders, ball was right there, right on the sideline.
First and goal at the 4. Chapman. And he won't get in. Warren Sapp jumps on him.
When Jesse Chapman runs hard, it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Raiders the rest of this game, because Jesse Chapman, bowling ball-like, and he's got some powerful legs.
Jesse with the touchdown last week against Carolina. 5'8". He's a little tank, 247 pounds out of Eastern Washington.
That's a low, and that's a low center of gravity as well.
Second down goal at the 3. Neal and Chapman in the backfield in the I formation. Here's Neal. Almost a touchdown, but I think he'll be a couple of inches short.
Boy, I think his knee hit just before he rolled over and landed with the ball across the stripe. So close for the big fullback. You see Lorenzo Neal, his knee just getting down before he pulls that ball over the goal line. So darn close, and this Raiders defense continues to have the ball hammered right down his throat.
Injured player, a Charger. We'll sort it out after this.
His name's Cole. He was 13 days late. And there was literally a point where I thought I was, going to be pregnant forever. Where you spend your whole life putting yourself first, and then just like that, you're second. And you're just so thankful. That's why I bought a Saturn.
The 5-star crash safety rated 2005 Saturn Vue. Now with 5 years, 60,000-mile extended vehicle coverage or a $1,250 allowance.
What's going on? We don't know how many converters we have in stock. We don't know where our trucks are. No one knows where Mackler is.
6,000 converters. Trucks are at I-4, exit 9. Mackler, where are you?
In the airport.
To confirm your order with Wholesale Beauty Supply, please press 1 now. Boop. To order red polish, press 1. Beep. For candy apple red polish, please press 2. Beep. For ruby red polish, press 2. No, beep. For fire truck red polish, beep, boop. Para inglés, oprima 1. Para español, oprima 2.
Sometimes a small business owner needs to talk to a real person. The City Business Card, with real live small business specialists on the phone. That's a card you can count on.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the City Business Card, with real live small business specialists on the phone. And by Saturn, people first.
Antonio Gates leads the team in receiving yards, and he was shaken up on the last play. Managed to walk off the field on his own.
Boy, and Gus, this is why you don't have your starters in the game. Watch Antonio Gates' knee get rolled up on right there, down inside. And we said it just a couple minutes ago, get your starters off the field. I don't know what they're thinking about, but they could have just lost their superstar tight end for the year, and that changes the whole dynamic of this team.
Third down goal at the 1. Chapman trying to get in.
You know what? You cannot listen to your players. You know, Marty Schottenheimer knows this game is out of reach for the Raiders at this point. You just can't afford to have your studs in there.
Well, Gates is going back in.
I mean, what? I just don't know what that proves. I just think there's no upside and tons of downside. And they're fortunate Antonio Gates' cleat didn't stick in the ground.
Now here's something interesting. The Chargers trying to pour it on the Raiders. 4th down and goal. At the 1, they bring Gates back in the game.
I can't even. I don't know why.
And now timeout is called. Very interesting.
You can turn a high traffic area into a high fashion area. No one has a more stylish selection, and no one has more carpet know-how than the Home Depot. And nobody beats our prices. Only the Home Depot has Stainmaster's new Platinum Plus collection with the industry's best warranty. Installation is guaranteed through the Home Depot. It's premium carpet that's as soft and beautiful as it is durable. You can make your home wall-to-wall wonderful. Only at the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Welcome back, 35-7. What is Marty Schottenheimer trying to prove right now?
Well, you know, hey, I never have a problem with running it up on a team. Then that's fine. But you know what? You've got the rest of the season. Your team's about to be 5-3, and everybody picked you to be the worst team in the National Football League. And you've got a superstar at tight end. You've got your receivers. You've got a guy that's played 2 weeks. You've got your quarterback. It's just not worth it at this point to have any of those guys in the game.
4th down and goal at the 1. Breeze throwing it up. And a touchdown for the Chargers. Wow.
You might want to cover Antonio Gates, and that's what Warren Sapp is saying. Hey, part of our game plan was designed to stop this guy. Is somebody going to cover him? And Gates answers back after the close call on the injury to come back with a touchdown. But clearly, if those guys are in next series, I might call down the field.
The extra point is up and good. Antonio Gates, second touchdown of the day, but Drew Brees has thrown 5, a career high. 42-7 Chargers.
What's the hot new thing in activewear? The Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. Everyone's wearing it to get powerful deep heating relief, and it lasts up to 8 hours. Try the new Ultra Strength Bengay Pain Relieving Patch. It's what's hot in pain relief.
Is it possible to actually get Wendy's big, delicious, all-white meat home-style chicken strips home? Yes, but why delay the joy? Wendy's, it's better here.
Hey, who's tired of paying $5 for a bag of peanuts? Who's tired of paying huge overage charges to your wireless company? Well, what if Sprint got rid of ugly overages? Check it out.
With the Sprint PCS Fair and Flexible plan, 100 extra minutes never cost more than $10. Other plans charge at least $40, so talk all you want.
You, went over your barbecue minutes.
Plans start at $35. Sprint PCS, now that's better.
To be absolutely sure I'm getting the lowest prices on electronics, I feel like I need a sign from above. That'll work.
I guess you're just what I need. That's what I need.
At Circuit City, you'll find unbeatable prices guaranteed every day. So you can always leave confident knowing you got the best price.
You're just what I needed.
Circuit City.
Starting Wednesday, get ready for 5 new CSI New Yorks in a row.
That tunnel's gonna get built, and then I'm gonna die.
He was trapped 700 feet below the surface.
What the hell was he doing there?
Someone left him down here intentionally. This isn't just a murder anymore. It's a conspiracy.
A new CSI New York, CBS Wednesday.
fifth receiving touchdown of the season for Gates. This time from 1 yard out, his second of the day. And the Chargers take a 42-7 lead.
Hey, Antonio, it's me, Brent Jones. Don't go back in the game. You're a star. The team needs you.
Well,
it's not worth risking it.
Here's a chance for me to get my stats up even better, so I think I have to go back.
Yeah, well, you know what? We said the key to the game today, Antonio.
You know what? I'm not listening. I'm not listening to you. Click.
Oh, yeah, that's just like you. Well, we said the key to this game for the Raiders was to control Antonio Gates. Clearly not. 5 catches, a couple of touchdowns, but they quite honestly haven't stopped anybody today.
This ball going out of bounds.
It's the first break the Raiders have gotten. Ball on the 40.
Kickoff out of bounds by the kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down, receivers, timeout.
Has the day come to an end for Mr. Gates? We'll see. 42-7 Chargers.
At Aim Low, we know renting a car can be stressful. So we've come up with a solution. A free stress ball. Perfect for waiting in line or getting lost on the road. We'd like to offer you more, but who do you think we are? Hertz?
Hertz offers both #1 club and never lost. No stress balls. It's your trip. Rent wisely.
Gotta go.
For those who never quit. The battery that never quits. Energizer. Keep going.
Folks, if you want to know how the Raiders are doing today, just take a look at Warren Sapp and his coach, Norv Turner.
You know, Gus, Warren is used to playing in defenses like that all the years in Tampa. I mean, he doesn't know what it feels like to have somebody drop a 42 bomb on you. And there's really been no answer today. The Chargers have spread it around all over the place. One thing you know, though, is you don't leave Antonio Gates wide open continually.
Now remember, the score of this game is 42-7. The fumble by the Chargers could have made this thing a lot worse if they would have held on to the football, because they were heading in once again, but Justin Peele fumbled the football.
Actually, they could have just scored 7 more points.
Yeah, okay.
It wouldn't be 80 or something like that. But they clearly haven't stopped. You know, hey, there's no love lost in this rivalry.
You know, the Chargers have not punted the entire day.
I know. Mike Cyphers has been one of their great weapons this year. And Warren Sapp clearly frustrated, and I don't blame him, but people have underestimated this Charger team, and they keep sneaking up on people, and I don't know for how much longer, because everybody's going to be aware of this team pretty soon.
Collins down the field. Porter with the catch at the 44. Taken down by Jerry Wilson, gain of 17 tonight on 60 Minutes. When Arnold tells us he wants to shoot for the top, he means the White House. Plus, behind the scenes at Saturday Night Live for last week's famous flub, Milli Vanilli 2. And 60 Minutes was there tonight.
I saw Milli Vanilli one of the very first times they sang, and I brought my wife with me, and she said, "They're lip syncing." I said, "Honey, you're crazy." They're a professional group.
First down and 10 at the 43. Over the middle. And this time it's Redmond out of the backfield. Raiders doing a lot of dinking and dunking.
You didn't know I was so hip to go see Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, you were
down to a Hollywood deal.
You were hip.
I was. What do you mean?
42-7. Chargers with the lead over the Raiders. Second down and 2 at the San Diego 35 for the Raiders. 2:02 to go in the third.
Nobody's covering up top. Receiver up top. Oh. They hurt us.
Collins down the middle of the field. Ball is caught. Anderson, and he gets to the 6. Stephen Cooper brings him down. Anderson gets up slowly, may have hurt his shoulder after the 29-yard gain.
There was nobody covering J.R. Redmond up until the very end. Jerry Wilson, the safety, went out there, and you see big Courtney Anderson going down the middle of the field. You just got to ask yourself, why didn't the Raiders take this tact earlier. You know, I think the Chargers clearly are playing a little bit softer zone. You got to utilize that middle of the field.
First down and goal at the 7. Flag on the play. Crockett with the catch, and he's dragged down at 2. But there is a flag. Donnie Edwards managed to trip him up before he got into the end zone. And the Chargers are saying this is against Oakland.
Illegal formation, 6 men in the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
You got to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage.
Looks like Warren Sapp and North Turner have come to some kind of agreement about what's taking place.
You know what? I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing. I want to see somebody on the Raiders show some emotion. I want to be Katonic.
And this is Wheatley.
And you've seen the Raiders look like they've been catatonic all day. And all of a sudden,
I was wondering, you said Katonic. I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, hey, it's 42-7 there, big boy. All right, you gonna start playing that game?
No.
Okay, Glover.
You're already killed me. You kill me all the time.
I caught myself. Catatonic. I can't enunciate when teams are behind by 35.
42-7. 48 seconds remaining in the third. Second down and goal at the 8-yard line. And a whistle.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's just a team, Gus, quite honestly, it looks like it's just a little bit of disarray right now. And you know, the Raiders are not as bad as they're playing today. They've got some good young talent.
What is it, do you think,
Got some
Brent?
older guys. You know what? It's so many different things. It's tough to nail it. I mean, the offensive line isn't great. The defense hasn't been showing up. The secondary's underperformed all year. The offense hasn't seemed like it's been as focused in utilizing its star players and the things that they need to get done, and not much of a running game. And then after that, they look pretty good.
This ball thrown to Porter, and it's underthrown. Collins under a little bit of pressure.
I mean, that should be a touchdown if Kerry Collins has time to set his feet. Of course, he doesn't. The line collapses, and you got Jerry Porter outside, running a corner route. One-on-one, does a nice move inside. I mean, that's a touchdown. You just got to give your quarterback another second.
And look at the domination by the Chargers. 404 yards in total offense. Drew Brees with 273 passing yards. Third down goal at the 13 now for the Raiders. Collins throws, it's caught, and a touchdown. Doug Jolly.
Well, there's one of the guys that we said clearly needs to get some more opportunities. Doug Jolly, the tight end. Kerry Collins going to find his tight end maybe a little bit too late, though. See him going through his progressions, and Doug Jolly running a nice solid out route right there at the goal line. Gets in for a 6.
Janikowski with the extra point. And with 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Chargers still lead it 42-14 now. Gary Collins throwing a touchdown. Doug Jolly. But it will be an interesting week, Brent, in the Bay Area.
Yeah, it sure will be. And Bay Area football is not the proudest moment for either team this year.
Let's check in with Scott Kaplan.
Gus talking earlier this week to Marty Schottenheimer. We asked him about last season. He said, look, when you're 4-12, you either change the performance or you change the performers. Marty Schottenheimer obviously changed a lot of the personnel on this team, and maybe the biggest move he made was bringing in Keenan McCardell within the last week and change. He has not had a huge game today in terms of receptions. Eric Parker, obviously, and Antonio Gates. However, his presence has made a big difference with this Charger team.
Even McCardell.
And we absolutely agree, Scott, with that. And, you know, one of the things that every Chargers mentioned in the last several weeks when we've done their games is the team chemistry. And one of the things that we know is that the Spanos family actually reworked the locker room at the San Diego Chargers facility. Everybody had cubby holes in the years prior, and they blew it out, and they took away all the cubby holes, and now the whole locker room is wide open, and guys are spending more time hanging out, talking, playing dominoes at lunchtime. It's really kind of built up the chemistry. So it's not a bunch of cubicles and a bunch of individuals. And we've had 3 or 4 people in the organization mention to us that they think that's one of the biggest changes on this team is the chemistry.
Now Dwight fields it in the end zone and brings it out. Looking for a hole, and Dwight gets to the 20. 21-yard return. That's the end of the third quarter. 42-14 San Diego. We'll return to Qualcomm Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame head into SEC territory to battle Tennessee as the Volunteers continue to drive towards the SEC championship next Saturday on CBS.
Everybody loves Raymond. Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
Sunday Ticket is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires. Passion for excellence.
And the wheel goes round, 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 round.
In the mood for something different? How about Levitra? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you. It's the best way to experience that difference.
Ask about a free sample. Ask about Levitra. Levitra, when it counts.
AmeriQuest Mortgage presents Pro Bowl balloting at NFL.com. You help decide who'll be playing in Hawaii. Plus, win a trip to the game by entering the AmeriQuest Mortgage Pro Bowl in Paradise sweepstakes. Log on to NFL.com or AmeriQuest.com now.
Start of the fourth quarter, Chargers with a big lead, and there's Phillip Rivers, the young man out of NC State, a rookie. He was their first-round draft pick. Do you give him a chance to play with such a big lead?
Absolutely. You say, Phillip, here's the ball, hand it off to Jesse Chapman. And you know what? Marty Schottenheimer just might be giving Drew Brees one play and then let him come off to a standing O. And he deserves it, the game he's had today.
Brees throwing, and this is Peel. Peel down the sideline, out of bounds at the 30. 6-yard gain. DeLawrence Grant with the tackle.
About the Chargers continuing to throw. There's Phillip Rivers on the sideline. And at this point, if you're the Chargers, you just want to burn clock. Get in there. Maybe let you have your rookie quarterback give him a little play action fake and give him a chance to maybe you know, throw a ball or two. But other than that, you just get him in there, hand off the ball, and certainly don't want any starters in at this point, especially your quarterback.
Drew Brees is 21 of 24 for 279 yards, 5 touchdowns. He, along with Peyton Manning, have thrown 5 touchdowns on this day. Chapman, all kinds of running room, and he gets over the 35 to the 37. Anderson with the tackle after a gain of 11. Wednesday on the King of Queens, what happens when your wife loves her job so much she doesn't want to come home? There are some lonely nights ahead for the King of Queens. Catch a new episode Wednesday at 9, 8 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. First down and 10 at the 38. Look at the passer rating for Drew Brees.
Maybe they're keeping him in to try and get that perfect rating.
Or maybe a 300-yard game. I'm not sure.
That's meaningless, other than to you media types.
Here's Chapman. Breaks it back. And Chapman dives forward, almost broke that.
He told you this is not going to be a walk in the park for the Raiders defense. Going against the little, what'd you call him? The little tank?
Little tank.
Little tank is right. He's got some moves, too. Little cutback, watch him protect the ball, cuts back inside. Bang! He's going to run over some people. Oh, wow. That had to hurt.
There's Chapman. Picked up 19 yards on the play. He now has 6 carries for 50 yards. Chapman again. And he goes down. Picks up 1. DeLawrence Grant with the tackle. The Emmy Award-winning Amazing Race is about to take off again. Now 11 new teams of ordinary people will begin an extraordinary journey around the world. The new Amazing Race premieres Tuesday, November 16th on CBS, America's most watched network.
You and I would be good at that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't argue or fight.
No.
During the whole deal.
No,
we can barely find our way from the hotel to the stadium.
To the stadium, exactly.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble.
Almost got lost today. LaDainian Tomlinson, his day is done. Another solid performance. 19 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Draw play, Chapman. And I'm still trying to figure out, Brent, why Marty Schottenheimer went for it on 4th down and 1. And he threw a pass into the end zone for a touchdown. Explain that to me. What do you think? He just wanted to just run it up a little bit?
Because he could. Heck yeah, this is the NFL, man. There's no you talk about the running up thing, and you know, you have a chance to just pound it into an organization. There's no love lost in between these two teams, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. I agree with you, maybe not the most sporting thing, but hey, that's, you know, this is a tough game, and the other guys on the other side of the line get paid as well. So maybe he wanted to get to that 40. It's a big hurdle, that 40 number.
Chargers will be at the Raiders on November 21st.
And you know what? Great point, partner. They will remember that. And I won't know if they'll be able to do anything about it, but they'll remember.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Only 4 penalties against the Chargers today for 26 yards. Raiders have been penalized 9 times for 60. And the Chargers still haven't punted the ball today. 3rd down, 13 at the 49. They need to go to the 35.5 for 1st down. Brees looking backside, in trouble, and he finally goes down. This sack for the Raiders made by Tommy Kelly.
And I'm still not a big fan of having Drew Brees in there. And you saw Tommy Kelly grab Drew Brees' ankle.